Okay, guys, we'll take questions. We'll go Franco and then Dan in the front.
Jesse,
Hey.
how do you explain the performance today? NYCFC was clearly the better team from the run of play. You guys finished with one shot on target. What happened today? What didn't work for you guys?
Well, I think first you have to give them credit. They adjusted certain things that they do, and they physically put a lot more into the game, which meant that we weren't able to overrun them like we often do. And then I would say that we're unfortunately kind of what we've been all year, which is not very efficient or effective in the attacking part of the field, and in some ways anemic. And then, giving up goals on set pieces. So, these are things that we're aware of and things that we're trying to address within our team, but we still seem to be affecting ourselves in negative ways with the same problems. So, the key is to, it's a really bad feeling right now to have them celebrate on our home field. We've managed in this series to command the games and often come out ahead and as the better team. Today's not the case. So, it's one where we feel terrible for our fans and for our club, because we know how much this rivalry means to us. But we can't get too down, because we've just got to keep going and grinding things out and finding ways to improve. How do you do that? Well, there's little things that we can do within the group. And then I think that it's clear that we still, we need to make a couple additions to get some help, specifically in the attacking part of the field.
Jesse, would you say that they won the midfield battle today, and at the same time, did they frustrate your guys enough where they were making some poor decisions on passing the ball?
Well, let's be careful about, how lopsided we think the game was. All right, because we had the ball often. We were now managing to control certain moments. It wasn't like we gave up a ton of chances. Okay, we gave up 2, and those 2 cost us. But like I said, it's important for us to take parts of the game and now convert that into real chances and into real moments in the attacking part of the field. And possession doesn't mean anything unless you're creating something. So we don't value possession. But the game wasn't so lopsided. It was a matter of them making a couple more plays than we were able to make on the day, and them being a little bit more up for the challenge. So, in some ways you could say that we're close with certain things, and we've managed to show some life recently. But in other ways, you have to say we have a lot more to do.
Christian, and then over here to Joe.
Hey, Jesse, I know you have a lot of confidence in the coaching staff and the guys on the staff, but in hindsight, any thoughts about the Poland trip and the timing of it and the preparation?
No, I knew that one was coming, Christian. No, none at all. Total confidence in our coaching staff and in our players. In fact, I always think these are great opportunities for them to take more ownership. Listen, a big factor for me is that 10 days ago we played a match. We wound up dominating that game and now emerging in that game as the better team on the day. And they had some revenge. They felt like they wanted to prove to themselves and make a statement that game wasn't who they are. So they put a lot into it. And we then now came in second. So, we'll make sure that personal part, the feeling we have right now, that we build that into the next time we play them, and we build that into Wednesday, and that we push forward in the right way.
Jesse, on the match, the attack looked like it was very much looking for the direct counter for most of the game, but the team didn't really have the speed to keep up with that. I was just wondering if you could comment on that a little bit, and maybe why the ball didn't go through the middle so much.
Sorry, yeah, you're saying New York was looking to catch us on the counter, or we were? Well, again, I mean, yes and no, okay? The way we're built, when we win the ball, we want to go to goal, and we want to try to score as quick as we can. But I wouldn't, it's hard to say it was counterattacking day when you have 60% possession. Now, again, the issue is that in build-up and in possession, we're not creative enough, we're not sharp enough to really set up the next play in order to create clear chances. But, we've got to find a way to fine-tune some of these things and understand what how to get better in some of the best games, but not get too down, not lose confidence in who we are, and make sure that we keep pushing forward. And like I said, it's a tale of the game, but it's a tale of the season. So we've got to be honest with ourselves and find ways to push.
Anthony in the back row.
Is it some frustration because I've never heard you say we need some additions? Is that just now being honest?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the key is to always be honest, right? I mean, you guys know me well enough. I don't sit here and lie. I sit here and try to be as straight as I can with how we do things and who we think we are and how we do what we do well, what we don't do well. The good news is we have room to make improvements, so we're working hard to try to get that done. And we can't use that as a crutch either, because there's things internally with the group we have right now that we need to get better with. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
Jesse, addressing Chris's question, you mentioned that good staff want players to take more ownership with you away from the league. Do you think that come to fruition? I mean, will you have any second thoughts in the future about doing that?
No, the answer to that is no. Let me be sure, okay? Me being gone, honestly, had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it, okay? So would I do it again? Yes. And do I have high level of respect and confidence in our entire club? This is not about me, okay? This is not about me. This is about all of us and our ability to be the best version of ourselves. I understand I'm the leader and I'm in charge, and on the day I'll take blame. That's the way it works when you're the head coach. When things go well, you can spread the congratulations around, and when things don't go well, you got to look straight at yourself, straight in the mirror, and you got to stand in front of people and say, I got to do better. I've got to find a way for us to be better. So that's what this is, nothing more than that.
Philip and then Franco.
Just to be clear, when you say we may need some additions here, you're talking about outside the organization, not within the current roster or the developmental.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's right.
Okay.
Jesse, two-parter.
You already had a question.
I know. No. I don't ask you all the time.
Now you're going with a two-parter.
Well, why the decision this week to leave before this game? Why this week? Why not?
Well, it's not really a decision. There's a structure and courses that you get involved in. 2 weeks from now, I have to go into the U.S. course. All right, I'm only in 2 courses right now, and that's not up to me. That's what the demands of the course are. They often match the international windows. They often match opportunities for around the world for clubs to have gaps in the season. This one fell at, obviously not the perfect time, but there's no reason to make excuses. It's all about now using whatever time we have to get better every day. And so there's no question that happened without me here. Okay, so yeah.
I just wanted to ask
second
you,
one.
Just
Okay,
wanted to ask you
Franco.
about the high press. It seems the teams have figured it out a little bit more this year.
Yeah.
They're not they're not playing out from the back. They don't. Patrick said it right now. He doesn't mind that the team played long balls when they had to play long balls. You guys don't seem to have a plan B, a way to figure that, like, play a different style, and it's hurting you guys. That's why you guys only have 17 goals, 17 games. How do you change that at this point in the season? You need additions, but how do you change?
We're not changing that. We're not changing it. The question is, how good can we be at what we do? And and listen, do we alter things based on our opponent, and do we have game plans, and do we are specific with certain areas of our tactics so that we think we can manipulate areas that we can gain an advantage? Always, okay? But if you're saying now, are we going to change our counter-pressing, our pressing, the way we play? Ultimately, no. This is who we are, and we're proud of who we are. We like who we are. And now the question is, how good can we be at what we are? Right now, it's not great, okay? But on a lot of ways, we had a handle on the game. We just weren't able to capitalize on situations, okay? Again, if we're sharper in the attacking third, if we take some of our half advantages and are a little bit cleaner, or create an advantage and go at a guy and set a guy up, and all of us, find a way to get a lead, and then even with how physical the match is and how segmented it was with the referee and everything else, it could have been a different day. It wasn't. We're not going to make excuses. We've got to get better at what we do, and we've got to find it in game to game and in the season-long situation that we're in. Yeah.
time for one more, guys. We'll go to Brian in the back.
Jesse, you said you made it sound like this was a relatively close game, yet you had one shot from distance that Johnson handled very well or very easily, and they had 2 extra shots that Robles had to come huge, one from the side and one that was a breakaway. And I'm just curious if you really think it was as that close, because it seemed as though they had clear chances, 2 more than the goals they scored on, and you had one at least on goal.
I mean, I don't know if we need to get into semantics here. I said at the beginning that you have to give them credit, okay, and that they were able to now put more physically into the game. They changed their game plan a little bit. They were able to gain an edge on the day. They won the game, okay? Good for them, all right? But it's, I come in here and it's like, like doom and gloom. Like on the day we're not good enough. And we have to find ways to get better, and we're going to find ways to get better, and I think that's pretty simple.
Thanks, Jesse.
Okay.